I think we need more thinking.
Merry Yokmas, everyone. The Nuggets and Rockets in the Mile High get down to the wire. What happened? Let's find out. You're listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. Let's get it.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we'll put ourselves in a good situation.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. Also, Merry Yokmas, once again. If you don't know what Yokmas is, it is the 9 years ago when Yok actually got slotted into the starting lineup as the Nuggets ultimately big number 5, and since then have not gone back. And so it kind of sent the Nuggets in a trajectory to winning the championship and where we are now. We celebrate today, even though he got a very modest stat line in that first game. Since then, he has now become a 3-time MVP, should be a 6-time MVP, and a Finals MVP, and almost a leading triple-double stat, scorer. And so we call it Yokmas, and it is rightfully so. The Nuggets actually haven't had a good win record on Yokmas, but today was a crazy of all days. It was definitely the heart pounding. My heart's still kind of calming down after this, and so because of all this, I had to wear my my Jokic shirt from the DNVR that I bought, and I gotta tell you, I was a little bit worried wearing it because so far, whenever I've worn this shirt, they've lost. The Nuggets have lost every time I've worn this shirt. And I was worried that was going to be a case tonight. So the Nuggets were on a replacement game facing the Rockets tonight after they lost to the Spurs in that group play for the in-season tournament cup. Facing the Rockets at home in the Mile High, the Nuggets were looking to end a 4-game losing streak on also a 4-game winning streak, looking to extend that to 5. And so the Rockets come in with every advantage. The injury list for the Nuggets, we saw AG and CB still remained for precautionary purposes. CB and AG are still working and getting better. They were practicing this weekend a lot more intensively, and Julian Strawther was definitely practicing more intensively as he actually would get off the injury list. He is now listed as questionable and then upgraded to available, though he would not play tonight. The starting lineup ended up being Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson, Spencer Jones, P. Watt, Peyton Watson, and then Jokic. Nuggets were in their navy blues, the Rockets were in their white jerseys, and the Nuggets got the Yokmas miracle, everyone. They got the win. Let's go. Let's go, Nuggets. 128-125 in overtime. That's right, overtime. So this was a nail biter, like crazy nail biter of a game. Definitely, like the Peacock guys said that it was the game of the year so far. I would have to agree on that, despite the fact that the Peacock play-by-play analysis, which included Vince Carter, was pretty unbearable to watch or to listen to. Like, they were glazing up the Rockets up and down, and it wasn't until they went into the studio that, of all people, Carmelo Anthony was the one to kind of give the Nuggets a push. And that's crazy. Like, there's something weird right now going on with Carmelo Anthony all of a sudden now kind of praising Jokic and the Nuggets. I love it, but it's just weird because we haven't really gotten this side of Melo yet. Ever since he left, he's been very hateful towards the Nuggets. And then now suddenly he's being like appreciative of them or like praising them and everything. And I like it. It's getting more points for him on me. So I don't know, but it was weird. And Peacock, was just all over the place itself. So what happened in this game? let's break it down. The Rockets win the tip, and Kogi on the, I think it was like a second attempt, gets the three for the first bucket of the game. Jokic then draws the double team and finds Peyton in the corner for a shot clock buzzer beater three to respond to that Kogi three and gets the Nuggets on the board. A defensive three is called against the Nuggets, followed by a floater by Şengün to gain a 1-point lead. And then Peyton charges the rim right down the lane for a monster dunk. Nuggets then slow to react defensively, continue to allow the Rockets second chance points, forcing Adelman to take the first time out of the game. They were very slow. They started to get very sluggish, and we've seen this before. Their starts are not great, despite the fact that they apparently are some of the best teams in the first quarter. The Nuggets just recently have been very lackadaisical in the starting of the games. I don't know what it is, and especially at the home games. The home games have just been really, really bad. And we saw that here. But out of the timeout, Jamal did get a reverse layup to cut the 8-0 run by the Rockets to finally get some points on the board for the Nuggets. And then Peyton actually gets injured, leaves the game, and heads to the locker room limping. We would later get the update that Peyton would suffer a right trunk contusion, which is a bruise from blunt force trauma, damaging small blood vessels and causing bleeding under the skin, leading to pain, swelling, and discoloration. I had to look that up because I didn't know what a trunk contusion was. Like, what's a trunk? I mean, do humans really have trunks? It has nothing to do with like an elephant trunk kind of thing. It's actually your torso. I don't know why they call it a trunk when you could just call it a torso. Like, right torso contusion would be completely fine, but apparently they use the term trunk. Kind of odd to me. I'm not really versatile in medical lingo, so still to me that seems really odd. It might not to be to you, but to me it is. Jokic then sinks a three for his first bucket of the game, his first points. Adelman then opts for a big double big lineup with Big Val in the game as Big Val backs up the defender for a spin around floater. I love me some Big Val, man. He is so needed, especially because there is very little of the roster of the Nuggets who are willing to get aggressive. It's basically Big Val and Aaron Gordon, and Aaron Gordon is out. Sometimes you can get Brucey B a little bit more chippy, and I love that when he gets really fired up and everything. But it's a huge reason why I just really miss Brody on the team. We really miss that kind of high energy intensiveness that he brings. But nonetheless, Big Val, man, awesome hustle and aggressiveness that we are seeing from him. Then there was some good hustle on the defensive rebound by Jokic, who slaps the ball over to Brucey B, who collects the rebound, then gets it back to Jokic over to Tim Hardaway Jr. for the spot up three in the corner, cuts the lead to 6. The Rockets still outscore the Nuggets 30-24. So with that three, obviously you can see it was a 7-point lead by them. They actually got up, I think, by 11 or 12, and the Nuggets were able to cut it back down to 6. The second quarter then would start with the Nuggets lineup of Tim Hardaway Jr., Cam, Big Val, Brucey B, and Zeke. Man, y'all, I am so off of any kind of support of Zeke. We really need to get off his contract. He is just bad. He's bad, and I want to praise all of our Nuggets, but when you make consistently bad plays, you make no attempt to make any kind of improvement, despite all the hard work that we hear him doing. It is really frustrating, I think, for him and for us. For this, I think he needs a new changeup, a new scenery. He is just not great. We need to get off of him. I think he and Hunter Tyson are the two items on our roster holding us down a little bit. Especially now as injuries are kind of mounting up. We just lost Peyton. Come on. You got to step up if this is going to happen. For us to be a dominant contender, you got to have every player playing at high level, and Zeke and Hunter just aren't cutting it. You got to get some kind of trade going, Ben Wallace, and include both of them. And I've heard some people say that it would be a good package to include Cam Johnson in there, and I have really started to enjoy Cam on the Nuggets. I think it's great. He adds a lot of good defense on the starting lineup. But I would kind of agree. I wouldn't hate trade with Cam Johnson. Like, the big move there was already done, getting off of MPJ's contract that allowed us to get a good big backup. And so now that that's done, like, if you were to trade Cam, it wouldn't be all for nothing. He still gave us a lot just by that whole trade itself. And I love Cam Johnson, like I said, but if you can, trade him and Zeke for another better player or two, like, I would say let's do it. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I think that you got to make some kind of sacrifice right now. And if anything, I'd be more okay with sacrificing Cam than I would Big Val, Brucey B, Tim Hardaway Jr., or any of the main starting guys except for, Cam. So, So they would start off with that lineup, and the Nuggets start the quarter off with a turnover. They turn the ball over. Rockets on the other end respond with turning the ball back over, and then Zeke misses a three back to the Rockets as Holiday sinks a three for the first bucket of the quarter. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're on the court, you need to be sinking buckets. And so far, we just see Zeke bricking shots. The only time we see him really making a shot is if he dunks it. And so if that's your game, okay, be the dunker. Don't be the spot up shooter. Send it over to someone else. But that's also probably why he got the ball, because he's being left open because no one trusts that he's going to make the shot, and rightfully so. If I was a defender on the Rockets facing that, I would leave Zeke open too. So Big Val then spin around fadeaway to get the Nuggets on the board. And then Big Val to Tim Hardaway Jr., who absorbs the contact, gets the finish, but no call is made for the and one, which 100%, if that was anyone else, that would have been 100% called. Even people on the Rockets. If you had Şengün making that same play, he would have gotten that call. KD, the troll that he is, would have gotten that play. SGA 100% would have gotten that play. He probably would have gotten that play and then upgraded to a flagrant one. That's if we're all serious here, So, the reffing in this game was all over the place, and that was like the first big mark right there of how bad it was. And Big Val then on another possession here gets another spin around fadeaway to get the Nuggets first lead in the second quarter. And then it was short-lived as Shepherd knocks down a big three. And man, I am getting so annoyed at Shepherd. Nuggets got to do something more about him. It looks like they're afraid of him, but you got to get aggressive with him. Even if you knock him down, hurt him a little bit, anything you can do to stop that guy, because he is just getting really frustrating on the Nuggets end. And he's a bench player. You don't want a bench player to run the court on you like that. You got to get a little bit more aggressive. And they're treating him like he's SGA type, and I don't believe that he is. So you got to get a little bit more aggressive with him, and they're not doing that right now. He's sinking buckets on the Nuggets all the time. It's really frustrating. But Jokic then checks back in at the 5:28 mark, which is kind of roughly the spot that he's been kind of checking in. He a couple times has been checking in a little closer on the 4-minute mark, which has been great. But this time around is 4:28 as Jamal ties the game with a pair of free throws. And then sloppy plays from both teams as the teams are tied at 45. It was really sloppy on both ends. They both were just not handling the ball well, or sending over bad passes that led to turnovers and interceptions and everything. So it was just kind of sloppy to begin with. And then we got that update on P-Watt, and then Jokic with a spin around the defense multiple times until the sky hook gets the Nuggets first to 50. He was spinning like a top. It was really fun to watch him just kind of cook the Rockets defense, which the Rockets have the second best defense in the league, which I have said already that there's not a lot of great defense except for OKC, because it is really, really aggressive, defending. And the Rockets can be very aggressive too, but it's still not up there. And Jokic obviously just kind of proved that point that he just kind of spun around them and made them dance and played with them to be able to get that bucket, and it was really fun on the Nuggets end to watch. And then we got double techs assessed for Şengün and Udoka, who refuses to go back to the bench. Udoka is just like a psycho. I don't know what's up with that guy and why he always looks like he's going to kill someone. You know, like, I get he has a beef with LeBron. You're not facing LeBron. You're facing Jokic and the Nuggets. Like, he was always out there acting like he was getting offended on every single play or talk or whatever. Like, it just seems like he's always angry and is wanting to kill someone. And, facts may be true here, Udoka, that if you were to use your brain, you would know that you're in high altitude and the air is so thin that by the time you get a punch out, you'd be on the floor gasping for air. So I would probably slow your roll, Udoka, and get back on the bench, regardless of if you have your players back. Like, get back on that bench and stop yapping, because obviously here you got that tech and you did it on purpose to try to show that you had the team's back, and it definitely helped them later on. But like, you just kind of look like a fool when you're on the court in Denver doing that shit. And so then it sends Jamal to the free throw line. He sinks both free throws. And then on the next play, Thompson misses a dunk. Yoke slings the rebound to Cam Johnson on the fast break transition dunk to gain a 9-point lead for the Nuggets. The Nuggets would outscore the Rockets in the second quarter, 34-21, and take a 7-point lead going into half, 58-51. Third quarter, the Nuggets start off with the starters, with Tim Hardaway Jr. starting in place of Peyton Watson since he would not be available anymore for the game. And then Jamal commits a turnover to start the quarter. Rockets on the other end get fouled. Thompson with a layup gets the first bucket of the quarter. Like, that was probably the most infuriating part of the game, was that the Rockets continued to get the first bucket of every quarter so far. Then Rockets respond with first Jamal with a fake out layup to get the Nuggets on the board. And then the Rockets respond with that with 5 straight points. Jamal then goes to the line after getting fouled from KD. And this one was really stupid. I got really upset with KD on this one. I mean, I'm constantly upset with him. He's such a troll and I can't stand that dude. Obviously, I would still root for him if he's facing OKC, because I can't stand OKC even more. And I'm actually going to talk about them a little later on. But Jamal gets fouled at the arc because KD doesn't give him closing space to land. And so he starts complaining about this, knowing that KD is a shooter himself. And if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was on his end and he was shooting in that same position, he would be begging for the foul. So the fact that he was complaining about this just really, like, sit down, you bitch. Like, stop doing that shit. Like, I can't stand when KD does that, man. Like, I really respect players who understand that they fouled and they will say, yeah, I fouled or whatever. Like, Jokic does that a couple times. Jamal will do that. But KD, I have never seen KD take accountability for anything. He is such a troll and just a bad attitude player. I'm going to be very happy when he no longer plays. And we are very close to that point. I know a lot of people love him, but I cannot stand KD. I've never been able to stand him. He is like such a poor sport, bad attitude dude. And he's a me guy, not a we guy. And that's exactly why he has not won a single championship since he was on the Warriors. And it was only because of Curry that he won that championship. That wasn't because of him. Like, even the team didn't like him because he's such a me guy. So obviously I don't like him. And Jamal then goes to the line, sinks all the buckets for the free throw. It was beyond the arc, by the way. So he got 3 free throws there, made all 3. Nuggets then allow another 5-point run for KD to tie the game. And then Rockets take the lead again with a Thompson dunk. It was starting to get really frustrating seeing this slump that the Nuggets go into. And then Jamal sinks a 3 to retake the lead by 1. Bruce then fouls KD on the closeout, which gets upgraded to a flagrant 1. It's really unfortunate, but I'm going to say it was actually the correct call. I'm going to be, the bigger person here. And after just pointing out that KD was complaining about the same thing on the other end, now it happens to him and he gets the call. The only thing is that they upgraded it to a flagrant one. And they didn't upgrade the flagrant one on KD when he was the one on the reckless closeout. So, gotta be more consistent, refs. That's bullshit. But ultimately, yes, Brucey did, do a reckless closeout. I get that. But call it on the other end with Jamal. That was just kind of rude and stupid. Nuggets then get very lazy at this point, and the Rockets complete an 8-0 run with Shepherd stealing an uncontested dunk to get the Rockets a 4-point lead. Out of the timeout, Jokic sinks a 3 to end that 8-0 run, makes it a 1-point game. And then Brucey B gets a last-second steal and a layup to give the Nuggets a 3-point lead. Rockets outscore the Nuggets still 35-31 in the third. And this was where it really started to get really annoying listening to the play-by-play for the game, because they were constantly praising the Rockets of how they are the best fourth quarter team in the NBA. They're the best, this quarter or whatever. When if you looked at the game, nothing about this game added up to what the stats have been saying. The Nuggets are statistically better in the first quarter, and yet they lost the first quarter. They are actually worse in the second quarter, and yet they won the second quarter. They are actually better in the third quarter, and yet they lost the third quarter. So the fact that the play-by-play guys were calling that the Rockets were going to be the better fourth quarter was just really stupid, knowing that the rest of the game had not gone how the stats have called them in the past. So we go into the fourth quarter. The Nuggets start off with a lineup of Big Val, Brucey B, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jamal, and Zeke as Big Val commits a loose ball foul on Şengün, and then Jamari Smith sinks a 3 for the first bucket of the quarter. So, man, all 4 quarters the Nuggets gave up the first bucket of the quarter to the Rockets. That right there is kind of why I feel like they ended up in OT. You can't be doing that, man. You got to have a little bit more aggressiveness at the start of the quarter and, make your buckets when you can. Cam then responds with a 3 himself, and the Nuggets get a steal with that Cam collects and kicks it to Jamal, who has a clear drive to the basket, but instead opts for a 3 to give the Nuggets a 2-point lead. And that right there is exactly why Jamal Murray should be an all-star. He saw a path to a 2-point, but knew he could take the 3-point. That's just high-level playmaking right there. I love the start that Jamal is getting. He didn't have a great game last game against the Kings. Yeah, but that will happen. But overall, this season so far, he has been phenomenal. And that is just one case right there. One more case to add on top of the long list of cases this season for why he should be an all-star. So he gets the steal, gets the 3 instead of the 2. Şengün then draws a foul on Big Val. This would be a big moment in the game because it would be Big Val's 6th foul. Stupid. And it was kind of not great. It was kind of, what would you say, soft? It'd be a soft foul that, ultimately they would have not given anyone else. But because, it was Şengün, they fouled out Big Val. And so he would get fouled out. And then Jokic checks in at that moment, which is at the 9:19 mark. So that was very early on in the fourth quarter that Big Val gets fouled out. Then Jamal drives to the rim, gets fouled, makes both free throws to get the Nuggets first to 100. So despite them not being able to make the first bucket of every quarter, they did get the first to 50 and the first to 100, which is great moments there. Then Schambor shuffles over Şengün. Loved it. It was pure poetic cinema. Just like no words. Like it was just awesome to see Jokic do that Sombor shuffle over Şengün. Though Şengün would repay him the favor and do the same thing to Jokic, though I feel like it wasn't as clean. It was a little bit sloppy, and it didn't have the rainbow effect that Jokic had when he did it to Şengün. So still, Şengün needs to work on it a little bit more, but he did get one over Jokic later on. Jokic then draws the foul on Şengün and gets the bucket, goes to the line but misses the bucket. So Jokic and Şengün were going at it. They definitely had a drive. But then also I would say Jokic and the troll, KD, I'm going to call KD the troll for now. So just so you know, when you hear me call it troll, it's KD. So Jokic and the troll were also going at it. The troll even pushed Jokic at one point, and gets luckily a foul called him for that. But still, like, he's such a bad attitude player. I can't stand the troll. So, but you saw this kind of like drive from Şengün to really get this win over Jokic. Like there was dedication there. And so they were going at each other a lot. And Jokic kept on just putting on a clinic for Şengün, teaching him a lesson or two of what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And then we got no one watching Jabari Smith, in the corner at the other end as he knocks down a three. This was a really frustrating moment because clearly you saw the Nuggets defense break down with no communication, and they were just so focused on everyone else. They didn't even care that Jabari Smith was open in the corner. And with a team like the Rockets, you gotta just take every player seriously when they shoot threes. Like Okogie was killing us with threes tonight. Smith was killing us with threes. KD was killing us with threes. Sorry, the troll was killing us with threes. Shepherd was killing us with threes. The only guy, oddly enough, who wasn't killing us with threes was Şengün. Like, it's just kind of interesting that they chose to leave Smith wide open for that three. And you know how much I hate uncontested threes from the Nuggets. Like, come on now. Contest those things. Even if you think that they can't make it, still give them a little bit of contention. So then Nuggets defense gets stagnant as the Rockets tie it back up. There were several chances here where the Nuggets had to win this thing in regulation, and yet they got stagnant at times and tired out. So hopefully this is actually some good practice for them to withstand a little bit or gain a little bit of home court momentum here. Because now the next game that they're going to face is against the Magic at home. So luckily we get to stay at home for a little bit as the Rockets head to New Orleans before they come back to face us again this weekend. But still, they got really stagnant, allows the Rockets to tie the game, and then Jokic keeps the Nuggets alive. He sinks a three, and we get this little segment here where each team trades back and forth threes. It was insane. So you got Jokic drilling a three, and then on the other end, Shepherd responds with a three. And then Rapid Man, Spencer Jones sinks a three, and then on the other end, the Troll sinks a three. Finally, Şengün fouls Murray. Murray goes to the line, makes one of two free throws to kind of break it up. And then Şengün gets a floater and gives the Rockets a 1-point lead with 2 seconds left in the game. Like, it was at this moment, if you were a Nugget who is very reactionary, a Nugget fan who is reactionary, you were probably thinking, oh, it's done. Good game. We lost it. We suck. Like, I saw a lot of that in the chat thread of the DNVR, watch along. I saw that also on X. There's a lot of negativity, not a lot of hope that the Nuggets were going to win it. I was still very hopeful because I want to stay positive and manifest a win from the Nuggets because I did not want the Nuggets to have a 5-game losing streak at home. They had to win tonight, especially on Jokic, man. So 2 seconds left in the game. They're down by 1. And this play happens. It's an inbound foul that happens where Thompson is defending or trying to defend Tim Hardaway Jr., and he is following him, and he ends up tripping Tim Hardaway Jr. And it actually gets called for a away from the play foul. And so they go to look at this because the Rockets take a timeout to challenge the call with 2 seconds left. And I get that. Like, this is a game-changing call, so you would probably want to challenge that no matter what. And it would, luckily for the Nuggets, be unsuccessful. And it, again, away from the play foul, which sends any Nugget to the line for one shot. Luckily, that was Murray. Now, Murray did not have the greatest free throw percentage tonight. He only missed one shot, so I take that back. He still had the best free throwing shooting, except for Tim Hardaway Jr. made 3 of 3, but Murray missed one shot, so he was 14 of 15. He goes to the line to sink the bucket and tie the game with 2 seconds left on the clock, and the Nuggets had a chance to win this thing on a buzzer beater, bucket, whatever it was, buzzer beater layup, buzzer beater 3, buzzer beater, jumper, step back, whatever. Jokic takes the ball at the inbound and misses the 3-point shot, sending the game into OT. That also would have tied the team, or both teams, up in the fourth quarter. But man, Jokic missed that buzzer beater, which was crazy. So the Rockets still outscored the Nuggets 31-28 to tie it up. And I know the Peacock play-by-play said that the Rockets were the better fourth quarter team. And the fact that they only won by 3 still doesn't tell me that they were better than the Nuggets in this one. It was still a crazy, like, no one knew what was going to happen kind of game. And obviously it sent it into overtime. So we go into overtime, right? The Rockets then win the tap in the overtime as well. Jokic fouls Şengün, putting 5 on Jokic, and then the Nuggets hold their ground with Jokic getting the rebound. Jamal, on the other end, sinks a fadeaway shot for the first bucket in OT. So finally, the Nuggets get the first bucket in OT. We had to wait till OT to get the first bucket of any kind of little quarter. Followed by another drive to the rim layup for Murray to give the Nuggets a 4-point lead. Jokic to Spence for the 3 gets the Nuggets a 7-point lead. And then Shepherd draws the foul on Jokic, making it his 6th foul. Adelman would take a timeout to challenge the call. And this is another crazy moment too, and a big deciding factor, because actually when you watch the replay, it was Jamal with a bump from behind that should have been called for the foul. The refs did not want to call the foul on Murray. They said that was a basketball play. But we've seen that get called for a foul so many times. Like, this is why no one really knows ball, because it is constantly changing. Like, the refs do not know ball. The players don't know ball. Everyone's confused on what the rules are of the game because they constantly change. So they relook at it, and they don't call the foul on Jamal, and they keep the foul on Jokic, which just tells me they really wanted to foul out Jokic. They didn't want him on the court. They didn't want him to challenge their calls or to, make the game interesting. They really wanted to sit him out, which was just stupid. So he fouls out. So the Nuggets now don't have a big. They don't have Big Val. They don't have Jokic. AG is still out with the injury. Deron Holmes II is in G League. Orlando, contending for the showcase, the G League showcase, because the Golden Rapids are doing phenomenal right now, and they're in that. But and that's where there's a little bit of speculation that maybe that's why Adelman hasn't been playing him so far, because the Rapids really need him to finish out this showcase and everything. So there's a little bit of maybe he's going to play after this weekend, which I hope. We really need him getting this NBA minutes. Like, if the Knicks can play Kolek some sink or swim minutes, you can definitely play Deron Holmes some sink or swim minutes. Like, come on. But I get it. You want to get the Rapid or the Golden Rapids some good minutes, or some accomplishments. I get that. So but it just kind of sucks that we have to kind of hold the ground down with other people who just aren't able to do it. And so I thought that maybe they were going to check in Zeke. They didn't check in Zeke. They checked in Brucey B, which was interesting. So they opted for a super small lineup. Jamal then misses, Şengün then draws the foul and the bucket for a 3-point play, cuts the lead to 3. Jamal then misses a jumper. The ball goes to the Rockets with 6 seconds left in the game. Rockets are unable to get the bucket. The Nuggets outscored the Rockets 11-8 in OT. OT. And the Nuggets win once again. Final score 128-125. Let's go Nuggets. Ending the 4-game home losing streak and extending their win streak to 5. Let's go. Oy, man, that was such an exhausting game to watch. Such a heart-beating one to watch. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you haven't had 5 heart attacks or feel like you're going to have 5 heart attacks while watching a game, then you're not watching a Nuggets game. Like, you just aren't. The Nuggets just like to keep it so tight all the time and keep it interesting that you're just constantly, your blood is rushing. You're just like, you don't have any comfortability. Like, I'm a little jealous of Thunder fans because their team has blown out teams so much so that they just can like sit back and relax in the fourth quarter and be like, yeah, we got this. Like, we got it in the second quarter already. Like, you can't do that with any other team right now because it's just so crazy. And I really do feel that the league would be better off without OKC. It's just really not good basketball to watch them. Again, I'm going to get them later. But my big takeaway for this game was that this was a playoff level game with the stakes high and every advantage going to the Rockets. AG, NCB still out on injured lists. P-Watt goes out of the game. Big Val gets fouled out. Jokic gets fouled out. The Nuggets with sloppy ball handling, leading to turnovers and buckets off of turnovers. The Nuggets have not played well at home. And despite all of that, it was a big time plays by everyone that led this to the win. Jokic and Jamal leading the team with all-star level playmaking. But it was the securing the defensive rebounds by Brucey B. It was the big time threes by Tim Hardaway Jr. and Cam Johnson. It was the aggressive plays by Big Val that got the win for the Nuggets. And this might be the best win of the season so far for the Nuggets. I always thought that the Nuggets winning against the Timberwolves would have been the best win of the season. And right now, it's really difficult to kind of think of which is the best win of the season because though that was really amazing and needed to happen, this right here, like a good win against a good team, is such a well-needed and deserved win. The Nuggets are proving they are a contender now. They are battle-tested. Let me know in the comments what you think, but man, I am so happy that the Nuggets got this win, and especially on Jokic. Merry Jokic, everyone. Let's go. So, stats here. Spencer Jones, he played for 40 minutes tonight, not the most amount of minutes of any Nugget. He made 11 points tonight, so he got into the double digits. Let's go, Spence. And you know what? I realized something. I'm very much a Spencer Jones guy. I have been tied to him because my first covering of a Nuggets game was earlier this year, last season, when they were in Golden State facing it was the first time in the Bay facing Golden State. And they had called up Spencer Jones from G League in Grand Rapids to come over to fill in because they didn't have Yoke, they didn't have Jamal, they didn't have CB. So they called him in and he had a phenomenal impact to that game. And I got to interview him that game. So the fact that I was a part of his first really breakout game, like really, I feel like a little bit of tied to him. He is phenomenal. I am going to be a Spencer Jones fan, and I'm just happy to be a part of that moment for him. And so to see him now becoming a big Nuggets fan favorite, like it's really special to me. So to see him put up 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Let's go, Spence, man. He was 4 for 8 from field, so 50%. Pretty awesome for a two-way guy who's starting for the Nuggets right now. 2 for 4 from 3, so 50% there. 1 for 2 from free throw, so 50% there. He's the 50-50 guy, you know? You just really love him, and that sometimes you hate him. Love and hate, but I love him. He had 0 turnovers, which is huge for him. 0 turnovers. 5 personal fouls. He almost fouled out. After Jokic fouled out, he got the foul on Şengün, and he almost fouled out, but he didn't. He stayed in it, and he was a +1. Should have been like a +10, I feel like. But Peyton Watson only played 5 minutes before he left the game. But in his 5 minutes, he did rack up 5 points. 1 steal. He was 2 for 4 from field, 1 for 2 from 3. He had 0 turnovers as well, 1 personal foul, and it was a -3. I'm going to save Jokic and Jamal for later because I do have a stat card for them again because they were just phenomenal tonight. Cam Johnson, though, 43 minutes. He tied Jamal Murray for the most amount of minutes played by any Nugget. He had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 for 9 from field, 2 for 5 from 3, 1 for 2 from free throws, 0 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a +8. And I saw a lot of Cam hate on the watch-along chat thread on DNVR, and I will not stand for it. I know I just said that I wouldn't mind him being in a matchup or a package for trading, but that's not to say that I still love what he does on the Nuggets. And if we keep him, great. If we had to trade him, I'm okay with that. But he still has a great impact on the game. And he only made 13 points tonight. It's still double digits, for one. And that doesn't tell the whole story. It doesn't tell the impact that he had defensively. So I still love what Cam Johnson brought to the game tonight in his 43 minutes. And then our big 2, peanut butter and jelly, as they like to say, Nikola Jokic, who we all have Jokic to thank for. 42 minutes tonight. In his 42 minutes, he racked up a triple-double, a monster triple-double. 39 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. 13 for 27 from field, so 48%. Not great, especially when efficiency does matter. So not great. It does kind of lower his efficiency because he does lead the league right now in efficiency. So the fact that he got 48 does kind of bring it down now. I think he's sitting at 68%. Probably going to bring it down a little bit more. He was 5 for 9 from 3, so 55% there. So that is still amazing. He was 8 for 11 from free throws, so 72%. He had 4 turnovers and 6 personal fouls, was a +1. There was one play where I saw a lot of Nuggets fans hating on Jokic for and saying that he was grifting. He was inbounding the ball, and Okogie had his arm extended over the inbound line. And so Jokic just kind of taps the ball on him, saying that you can't do that. And everyone was like saying like, oh, that's a bad move, Jokic. What are you doing? You're grifting and everything. Jokic is smart. He knows a lot of the rules. I know, like I just said, like a lot of people don't know the rules. Jokic knows the rules. He stays current with the rules. And so much so that he's difficult for the refs because he knows more than the refs. And so he already knew that was illegal. You can't do that. And they almost called a turnover on the Nuggets because of that, because they didn't see it. And because Jokic knows so much, he had to basically educate them. And so they turned it over, or they still left the ball for the Nuggets. But still, like, that was actually a small play, because then after that, Okogie didn't do it. He didn't press up against it because he knew that was going to lead to a tech foul. So I love that Jokic did that. That showed how smart he is in the game, and we know how high of an IQ he has. He is definitely the engineer-minded type on basketball. Like, he is just so technical and knows the intricate ins and outs of it and the loopholes and everything. So, like, that was a really great night for Jokic, and it sucked that it ended on him fouling out. But we wouldn't have won this game if it wasn't for our main blue arrow. Jamal Star Hashtag Jamal Star. Let's go. Let's get this guy elected finally to an all-star season. Come on. Voting starts, I think, on Wednesday. So make sure you vote for Jamal as an all-star. 43 minutes, as I said, 35 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 for 17 from field, so 52% shooting, 3 for 5 from 3, so 60% shooting. He had the highest percentage in threes. Was it overall? No, a lot of players on the Rockets had higher percentage than him, but still, 14 for 15 from free throws, so 93%. He had 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a -4. Crazy. Like, the fact that your 2 best guys, like the highest plus minus was actually Cam Johnson with the +8. That was the highest plus minus. That's crazy how that works out. Bench wise, we had Tim Hardaway Jr. played 39 minutes tonight, mainly because P. Watt went out. So you had him come in and play a lot of the minutes there. He racked up 13 points off the bench, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals. He was 4 for 10 from field, so not a great shooting night for him tonight. 2 for 8 from 3, not a great shooting night in threes as well. But again, 2 clutch buckets there from both him and Cam. I know they both made 2 only and put up a lot more than that, but still, they made those threes when it counted, and we don't win this game if it's not for those threes. He was 3 for 3 from free throw, 0 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. He was a +4. So overall stats, we got 38 rebounds to Houston's 46. So they out-rebounded us. 24 assists to their 29, so they out-assisted us. 10 steals to their 7, so at least we outstole them. And then we had 4 blocks, they had 8. And that was really frustrating because there was like several back-to-back plays where the troll would get a couple of blocks. He had 5 blocks tonight. Like that's Wemby level of blocking there, and super annoying. And I think a lot of those blocks weren't actually intended. They just kind of were mistakes because they looked really sloppy. So then we tied with the field goal percentage. We both shot 50%. And then we shot 44% from threes. They shot 48%. And we shot 81% from free throws. They shot 73%. And then, because even the troll missed a free throw tonight. That was awesome to watch. I can't tell you how much I have wanted to see the troll miss a free throw, and we saw it tonight. It's so amazing to watch him miss. I really can't stand that dude. 10 turnovers to their 16. So they actually were even, they should have lost this game way before the overtime, because there was many chances, especially in that fourth quarter, that just the Nuggets were not able to capitalize on. And so then we had 28 personal fouls. They had 25. So obviously the Nuggets got more aggressive, and because of that, they got the win. Now, a couple of other things that I wanted to kind of point out here. I don't know if you guys follow Vlatko Cancar. If you remember, he was a forward for the Nuggets for several years and left to go play in Europe. So he's no longer on the Nuggets. And he apparently recently got injured and had to get surgery again, which, if you remember, it was, I believe, the chip year that he got injured and had to have a season-ending surgery. And so now he's back on injury. And so I just wanted to point that out because that's really heartbreaking to see. And he's such in high spirits, though, that he's not, held down from this. He's framing it as like starting from ground one again and building back up stronger. And then he also replaced his Instagram profile page or photo with Goku from Dragon Ball Z in the chamber getting rejuvenated. And so, like, one, I just wanted to point out just how good of a guy he is, but then also just like it sucks that he's back in the injury part of his career. And I just want nothing but the best for Vlatko, because Vlatko will forever be a Nugget for life. So wishing Vlatko the a speedy recovery. I know he probably doesn't watch my show at all. I don't think he even remembers me in the locker room. So, but still, wishing the best for Vlatko. He's a great Nugget, and hoping for the best for him and speedy recovery there. Now, the other thing, I don't know if you all saw the semifinals of the in-season tournament this weekend. One, my Knicks got a win over, who was it? The Magic. That's right. I should already know that, but they got the win over the Magic, so they're playing in the finals. And then it came down to the Spurs and OKC. And if you didn't watch that game, good on you, because it was just frustrating to watch. And I cannot stand OKC. I hate them so much. And the thing I've started to see too is that they have, the one good thing that OKC has done is they've brought the entire league of fans for the NBA to root against them. Like, I am agreeing with Lakers fans right now. I'm agreeing with Celtics fans. I'm agreeing with Mavs fans or Golden State fans or Rockets fans. And I'm rooting for the Spurs to win. And it's just crazy. Like, they've built themselves into a super hyper villain. Like, I should be hating the Lakers no matter what, because they've always been the villain, and they will stay the villain because they're so stuck up and they think that they have 17 championships when they don't, because nothing before 1980 counts. It even goes for the Celtics, despite the fact that a lot of Celtics fans have been very graceful lately, especially to the Nuggets. So I feel you. I love you guys. I'm starting to love you guys, but still, you don't have 18 championships. Nothing before 1980 counts. And so, like, the fact that I am rallying behind everyone else just to wish for the demise of OKC. Like, I'm in a state now where, like, I don't care who wins. I just want OKC to lose. Because if you watch football at all, you know how insufferable Chiefs fans have been. And OKC, to me, seems like Chiefs fans with less accomplishments. Like, it's crazy the level of toxicity, a false sense of security that they have, of false confidence that they have. Like, I get it. They're in a podunk town in the middle of nowhere, USA, where nothing good has happened to them, and so they get finally one good thing and they have to grasp onto it. But they feel like that's such a young team. They've been around not even a minute. Everyone else has been in there way longer, and yet they act like they know everything about basketball when they don't. And so, and they feel like they've been through it. No, you haven't. You haven't been through shit, OKC, until you've gone through 47 years of losing. Like, the Nuggets know what it feels like to go through it. The Jazz know what it's like to go through it. They've been to finals and never won. The Clippers even know what it's like. The Brooklyn Nets know what it's like. Like, so many other teams actually know what it's like. OKC does not know anything about pain. And so, like, that's just all kind of like building up here for this game. And so we got this game, and there was so much fouling from the OKC that was not called in that game. And you got this horrible reaction from everyone OKC related, whether it's fans, coaches, or players, that just really seemed like unsportsmanlike, because they just seemed like powders for losing their second game. Like, so boo-hoo, you lost your second game. Get over it. You're not going to win the cup. Get over it. We don't win the cup either. We got over it. We're focused on the main goal, the championship, not this silly in-season tournament. But still, on the same end, go Knicks. But still, we had this gross game. Like that's one of the main reasons I just cannot watch OKC. Like I try to watch them because I want to stay current and everything and know how they play and everything, and maybe give them a chance of like, well, maybe they actually, have a point or whatever. And every single time they prove me right that they don't play good basketball. They play very aggressive defense. I'll give them that, but they do not have impressive offense, and their defense is built off of fouling people aggressively. And it just so happens that the NBA has the refs in their pocket to make sure that they don't get these fouls called. So I'm going to play a little clip here from the game of Alex Caruso defending Wemby. I'm going to play it first, and then I'm going to play it again and show you what I see.
Well, Wembanyama right here. I mean, Caruso's doing everything he can at the height that he's at, but I'm just bigger than you. That's all this boils down to. I'm bigger than. That's like stand guarding me. I'm just bigger than you. Look at him. Yeah, you little.
Okay, so now you saw this, right? Let's walk it back. You see here, one foul right here. Alex Caruso slaps down on Wemby's arms right there. Okay, now advance it forward. Stop. He fouls again, hitting him in the arms again. Play it again. And then here, fouls him when he goes up, grabbing his jersey to pull down. You cannot do, that's 3 fouls right there. I'm sure he actually fouled him 4 times. I think there's another like push after that or whatever. And, all props to Wemby for still making the bucket after all of that. But still, like the fact that I'm actually rooting for Wemby here in this moment. Like he should have gone to the line like 4 times in this one play and made more buckets because of this, and made like an and 3, Like it's just crazy how much fouling Alex Caruso does that does not get called. And then you had the very last play where Alex Caruso, so J-Dub was at the free throw line. He makes 1 bucket, and then he intentionally misses the second bucket so that the someone in the OKC could do a putback to, I think, either win or tie the game. And I actually think it was a win because they were down by 1. And I think it was Castle kind of, a little bit boxes out Caruso as he kind of tries to go for the putback. He gets the ball, but he misses the shot, and Castle's hand kind of hits a little bit of Caruso's hand and the ball, and kind of sends him out of bounds. And that's how the game ends. And so then you get this from Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso as they're walking back to the locker room. Do you see that? Do you see how bad of losers they are? Like, if it was the other way, they would be rooting and saying, no, man, that wasn't a foul or whatever. But the fact that it happened to them, oh, now it's going to pout. The world is ending. Like, damn these refs. They don't know what they're talking about. Like, suck it up, OKC. Now you know how it feels to be every other team that plays against you. Now you know how frustrating it is when you don't get the calls. But by the way, hand is a part of the ball. Now that rule right there varies depending on the ref. Sometimes the hand is part of the ball. Sometimes it is a foul. Again, we all fouls are kind of up for interpretation a lot of these days, but there are definitely some blatant fouls, which is exactly what Alex Caruso did on Wemby. So the fact that now they're pouting and throwing a tantrum that they didn't get that last foul, like, dude, you realize you just fouled up and down the court that didn't get called. So shut your mouth. Like, if those had been called, you still would have lost the game because those got called and you would have been down even more points. Like, give some credit to the Spurs, man. Like, I'm definitely giving them credit. And they even beat my Nuggets. Like, I'm rooting for them. And I always kind of felt like whoever came out of the group of death was going to go to the finals of the in-season tournament cup. Like anyone else just didn't make me feel like, oh yeah, they were going to win. Like it had to be someone from the group of death. If it wasn't the Nuggets, it was going to be whoever, defeated the Nuggets. And so like the other thing too is like before Isaiah Hartenstein was on the Dust Bunnies here, he was on the Knicks. I loved him on the Knicks. He was such a amazing asset to that team. When Alex Caruso was not on the Dust Bunnies, he was on the Chicago Bulls. I loved him on the Chicago Bulls. He was fun to watch. He was fun to root for. Now, I hate both of them. I cannot stomach either of them. They are such big babies, and they flop all the time. Like, grossly flop. Not even like a Jokic kind of like over-exaggeration kind of flop. Like, it's even hyper. It's like that times 10. Like, getting hit a little feather touch on the nose and then, like, dramatically falling to the floor. Like, have some respect for you guys, for yourself. Like, get off the fucking floor. Man, they are so frustrating to watch. I cannot stand the Dust Bunnies, OKC, man. Like, I cannot stand them. They are so disgusting to watch. So they lose, thank God. And before this game, actually, I had a little beef with Wemby. Most Nuggets fans, if you know, Wemby said that Jokic wasn't the best player. And he actually said that SGA was the best player. And then he goes and he plays SGA, and in the post game then says that he's glad to be part of a team that plays ethical ball. So on one end, you are calling out the player that you just said was the best player, and because now you see what he's like. Like, I hope that the only reason that Wemby said that was that he's still upset at Jokic for making fun of him for reading in the All-Star game. Because otherwise, I don't know why he would say that. Out of nowhere, too. But, I still rooted for them. I'm glad that they won. Thank you, Spurs. You did a very a good service to the rest of NBA for beating OKC. And now, go Knicks. I'm happy that you won, but go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Orange and blue skies, baby. You're going to win the cup, New York. You're going to win the cup. I'm all down for Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Cat. I've never liked Cat, but now he's on the Knicks, and now I'm starting to like him. I'm liking me some Cat now. Like, let's go. So, all of that to say, a lot going on tonight. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this stuff. What you think about OKC. What you think about the Rockets game tonight. What you think about the troll, fouling and then getting crying when he gets the foul called on him. Let me know what you thought. But that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And if you do feel a little graceful to give me a little something, a donation, I do have my PayPal link in the description below, as well as on the profile page. You can head over there and then attach a comment, take if you will, of the game, of the NBA overall, or of a different team, or a different player, or a certain player, whatever it is, another sport. Doesn't matter. I'll read out any other take you have and shout you out if you do, please. And would definitely appreciate it. But you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. We'll catch you later.